Our court going.
Well, it was what it was, just a hearing or an arraignment. Not guilty, put it forward to the jury trial.
Right on.
The trial conference, the 22nd, doesn't know much anything. For them to tell, or for me to tell them that I'm not interested in bargains.
Cool.
This is for everybody, you know what I mean? We're just talking as a group. And,
Well, if it's for everyone, why aren't we doing it at RGA?
The group that doesn't follow our
there's many GAs. There's lots of GAs. You can't do it all in one GA. Right. And that's the thing is like,
Did you guys post this anywhere? Did you post this meeting we're at?
Well, I just found out about it, so.
So it's a private meeting?
No, it's public. Everybody that's been coming in.
Well, where was it posted at, though? When was it announced?
I don't know.
spontaneous.
It wasn't announced at any GAs, so it is a private meeting then.
No, it's not private meeting.
Okay, but no one knew about it.
I'm leaving.
I'm just asking a question, dude. That's all. I'm not being defensive. I'm just curious. Because there's a lot of people who don't know that this is happening right now, so I'm just curious.
it wasn't anything that was orchestrated or pre-planned. It's just a group discussion. Individual people coming together to speak.
It kind of started after we had the court cases and everything. We talked about, let's get together and talk about what happened as far as today, what happened at UCCS, and what happened as far as Steve's trial.
Nothing else was talked about what's going on tonight at the GA.
And then we start talking about how you probably abuse some of your powers, and we're thinking that maybe we need to have you step down from some of your positions. And so that's what we want to do.
I'm too busy for that. I'd love to, but I'm doing
We're
shit.
dissatisfied with the way you've been controlling
Jason,
people.
is it okay for me to ask you about the waiver issue? Apparently there are conflicting views from you and Hussein about the waivers being torn up.
Torn up? What do you mean?
Were any of the waivers of any of the occupants, whether you would consider them previously occupiers or present occupiers, were any waivers that were signed at any time torn up or destroyed?
Absolutely.
Because Hossein just told us that he had every single one of the.
We have them. They're not. They're null and void.
No, actually,
And that can be addressed.
Signing contracts and whether you destroy it.
No, actually, it's a waiver. Like when you go bungee jumping, you sign a waiver that releases all your responsibility to the company. Once you bungee jump, they tear your waiver up.
I'm pretty sure the founding fathers didn't sign it.
Same thing when you go rafting. When you go whitewater rafting, the exact same thing. I have waivers.
And then you say you have.
I have waivers, but there are a few people who can't go in the booths. According to you. No, not me. No, Jack. No, Jack. Where was the? You guys, I'm the only one here. According to the GA, according to what? I understand. According to what we decided in the GA, and with all due respect, you haven't been at many, so you may not know this.
What was the need to say that?
Because he injected a comment, so I'm just addressing him. Now back to Mario. It's been voted on in the GA, and I've said it in the media for the last 2 days, that everyone is occupied, period.
Great.
But, that being said, we decided, since we're working with the city, and we decided, most of the people here decided and voted on it. Maybe you weren't there, but this was before you were there. That when we're working with the city, if you want to go do something that's civil disobedience, you do it as a sovereign person, just like Steve did.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily put down your Occupy badge when you go and do the civil disobedience. It's all part of the larger whole.
Also,
okay, Jack, there's no logic there. There's no logic there.
There's a lot of logic.
Let me explain this to you. When you go and get arrested and put up tents that aren't on the permit, we're screwed when we try to extend that permit.
Well, I don't believe
the path, well, that's your choice, and that's why you started Camp Safe Haven. That's why you left Occupy. That's why you guys just sat here. Well, you just said that. We've got it on tape. You just said, somebody at the table just said that you guys aren't a part of Occupy.
So I got a question then. So if someone sets up tents and they are occupied in Manitou Springs, or can I ask a question, please? So if someone sets up on the north side of town and calls himself Occupy Colorado Springs, and they're not necessarily following line with the permit or whatever the hell is going on down here, I mean.
Well, then we just do what we did with you guys and let City Council and the City Planner know that you're not representing what we chose to do with them.
Okay, well hold on. Hold on. Let me finish my line of questioning, guys. I just want to understand why this right here is definitely kind of taking control of the OCS name or the whole Occupy movement. How can you say that somebody isn't part of Occupy Colorado Springs?
No, everyone is. Everyone is.
In Colorado Springs, they're doing Occupy movement.
Right.
They're doing something with it, but you're saying it's something separate. So is it something separate from the OCS or from the permit?
No. Everyone at this table is a part of OCS. What you can't do is be behind booths if you've been warned and then kicked out of a booth.
So you're talking about just the booths. The booths.
And what I said before. And what I said before. We decided that as a GA. You voted on that,
Hold on, stop telling me what I voted on because I did not vote
John,
on that.
I remember you being in favor of that.
I voted on in favor of going forward with
the permit, working with the city.
To get the permit, but I did not.
Okay, let me.
Vote on unilateral control of it.
Cool.
He's asking a simple question.
Right on.
Regardless of what you voted on in the past, just simply answer the simple question with a simple answer.
We are. We're good.
So the thing is, so if someone's doing something else, they're in Colorado Springs, and they're doing it with the Occupy movement, but it's not a part of these tents down here, or the permit that has your name on it.
It's not me. I think you guys are all misconstrued there. This isn't me. None of this is me. I could give a shit less. I could go home and work on my own stuff.
Okay, but I'm asking a question. So if they do something else, there's a separation then? You're saying that this thing here is separate than the real movement then? It's kind of its own
No,
thing?
not at all. What I'm saying is if someone, myself included, if I decide to go spray paint a building, I don't go on the news and represent myself as Occupy Colorado Springs. Because we as a GA decided that we wouldn't do that because we want to have a peaceful coexistence with the city.
Now you're saying that people's individual actions and traits can exclude them from the larger movement.
Not from the larger movement, but you can do that as a sovereign person, Jack. It's not rocket science. Steve Bass, this guy right here is the perfect example.
Yeah.
He did it. We do. We are. Thank you.
Everything else.
Did you hear him? Say that again?
We are.
Yeah.
Although I was concerned about the kitchen episode last night.
Yeah,
This business with Raven over here. So I'm hoping that you can explain that to me and help me to understand why it is that those guys over there in the kitchen and elsewhere have developed what appear to be like Nazi traits.
If anyone who's protesting has a problem in the kitchen, just yell at one of us, because Carl can be a little stubborn. You know, Jack, you've stolen food out of the kitchen after being at.
From the people.
Excuse
Do
me?
not make accusations like that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. If anybody has a problem with the kitchen, what?
Please come see me, or someone.
I can see you and tell you that they refused myself and my daughter.
Raven, can I? Okay, but
On the basis of we're no longer.
no, Raven, they did not. There's multiple witnesses. What happened was Carl got overwhelmed because you were all in the kitchen. He asked everyone to hold on a minute. Then he actually took plates of food out and delivered them to everyone. Carl's 91 years old, 92 years old. He is in there busting his butt for 12 hours a day cooking food for everyone. He didn't refuse food to anyone, you included. What he asked is for everyone to hold on.
I did not put up the entire video on Facebook, but
You're good at that.
I will play it for you right now where he tells me that I'm no longer part of the occupation.
Right.
He cannot feed me.
Right, and we filed a complaint against you, Raven. It's no big secret. And it wasn't me. The security team decided to call the police on you and file a complaint.
Security team has become an extension of the police.
Me, and this is true because I did verify the only two people over there that are able to press charges on the grounds of trespassing because their names is on the permit.
Absolutely.
Means it's only Jason.
The decision was not made by me, though.
Spoke with the officer, and when
Okay.
my court case comes,
I did.
court case comes up, you will either have to be there.
I'm cool with that.
You really should be dropped because you're the one that pressed the charge.
It wasn't charges, by the way. It's not charges. Well, then you brought those on yourself because all we...
Let's move forward.
I can't talk with her.
Guys, hold on 1 second.
So talk circles.
Let me have a minute. You guys have been running in circles. Let's move forward. Are you willing to go on record with your recording, this recording, any other recordings in the room that I'm not aware of? Are you willing to go on record and say that everybody in this room, aside from yourself and the people you have brought with you, are no longer part of the Occupy movement?
No.
You're not on record.
That's absurd, guy. Why would you even say that? That's absurd.
Hold on,
guys.
One interview for PRA News goes on record, you saying that we are no longer part of Occupy Colorado Springs.
No,
because we have
that's not what I said.
That's what it says on record.
Ryan, you have twisted every single word I said, bro. I'd rather not address you, to be honest, otherwise I'll lose my cool. Because what you said on PRA radio was pretty much all BS, and I'm going to keep that very civil by saying that. They saw it, they know it.
It's on record.
And so does Channel 13, my friend. So you keep talking what you want to talk. Had you been down here more than 2 or 3 times, maybe you'd know what was going on.
Pushing us aside.
No, sir. We're moving forward as a group. If you guys want to do that.
Because look at the dissension. You're obviously not moving forward as a group. Man.
Okay, so if we
you're
lose,
shutting people out and causing dissension. By
John,
saying that people are
John.
not a part of the movement.
Can I tell you guys something?
Your own exclusionary club.
Can I tell you? Can I throw in a couple positive things? I'll give you guys a preview.
Let him talk.
No.
Let him talk.
It's important.
Well, I
to
was
hear
cut
that
off
stuff.
there.
He's speaking.
Yeah, I know.
Shut your mouth.
It would be important.
Whoa,
to hear
dude.
that stuff.
Whoa, dude. You calm yourself.
Well,
You don't get psycho with me and yell at me, please.
Let me say the same thing again. Okay? If you exclude people from an all-inclusive movement, you've excluded
No one's
yourself.
excluded anyone, sir.
By telling people that they're not a part of the movement or by doing something, they're doing something separate.
No,
you
John.
yourself created something that is an exclusion.